Yo, here we are. Welcome back. We touched down in Dallas, Texas. We're in East Dallas right now. About to be here for the next 5-6 days. I'm also going to go down to Houston. I'm gonna let you guys know what the rooms are like in this city. Compare them to other rooms in Las Vegas. I think some of you guys would be interested in that. It's June 18th, 2024. Humidity, not bad. I mean, there's a little overcast, which is nice, but I ain't tripping about the humidity. I mean, that Vegas heat in June is something different. Chat soon. Unfortunately, here in Dallas, the showers do not get cold enough to run a proper cold plunge shower. To this day, in the summertime, Denver, Colorado is the only place I know that you can get a nice cold shower in the middle of the summer. So all you homies out there in Denver, don't take that for granted. Dallas, Las Vegas, you gotta wait till wintertime to do a proper cold plunge. Here we go, first spot on the list, Texas Card House, Dallas. As you can see, it's in a strip mall, middle of nowhere, in between a bunch of highways. Weird shops around it, kind of what you anticipate. They definitely like these far away from schools, churches, all that. We in Katy, Texas, about to walk into this spot called 101 Poker. Supposedly the best spot in Katy. Get some footage inside. All right, let's do a little bit of a recap. It's a tad windy. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm still out here in Katy, Texas, a city about 30 minutes west of Houston, up and coming town. I played 3 rooms, 2 in Dallas and 1 in Katy. I still have 2 more I plan on playing. I'm gonna play the Texas Card House in Spring, which is about 20 minutes north of Houston, and then we're gonna play the Fort in Dallas, in the Fort Worth area of Dallas. My favorite room so far is hands down TCH Dallas. They run a 1-2-500 cap game that is to my liking because $500 is perfect. It's relatively deep. There's maneuverability. They have all these hour promotions where you can pay $99 and get 9 hours, something like that. Comes out to like $11 an hour. It seems like they have hourly promotions all the time that'll come out to about $12 per hour, which is perfect. A lot of these Vegas rooms are now taking $6 rake, so that's essentially scooping 2 pots an hour to make up for it. But the money stays on the table in Texas, which in Vegas it just runs down that drain relentlessly. The Las Colinas room and the Dallas TCH, they're both Texas Card House brands. They're within 15 minutes of each other. Northwest Dallas, just about 15 minutes from downtown. It's a massive metroplex, though. If anybody hasn't been there, it's an interesting place. The Las Colinas room was crazy popping. I was in there on Wednesday around 9 p.m., played it for 3 hours, 9 to midnight. And they had probably 9 1-2 tables running, 3 2-5 tables, and then another 6 or so pot Limit Omaha games. The issue with the Las Colinas is their 1-2 which is the most abundant game that they have, is capped out at a $300 buy-in, no match the stack. That's an issue. I was telling the guys in the game, if they up that to just $400, just $100 difference would make that the best room in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, hands down, just because it's in a little bit nicer of an area than the TCH Dallas. But $400, similar to, that's the cap at Caesars Palace in Vegas. And that difference, that $100 difference, is like night and day. It pretty much allows you to increase your hourly about $10 over a long timeline. 300, you just can't do anything. I mean, I understand it's 150 big blinds in a 1-2 game, but these games aren't playing like 1-2. If anything, they're playing like 2-5. And in 1-3, like it is at Caesars Palace, the $400, I mean, it's 122-ish, 133, how many is it? 133 big blinds, which is, no, somewhere in there. I'm not exactly sure. It's bad that I don't have the math on the top of my head, but this little picture, Texas flag, American flag, gotta like that. TCH Dallas with that 500 cap 1-2. They do run the 2-5, but it's between $200 to $1,000 buy-in. But they only get like one game going on the weekends. It's not something that they have running every day. So you're pretty much stuck with the 1-2. But at $500, that's a beautiful game. That's a game that you can grind all the time. And these locals said that even at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 7 days a week, you can find a good game in there. And that is a huge difference between Dallas and Las Vegas. Las Vegas, you can't even walk into the room until 11 p.m. You walk in before 11 p.m., you're asking for trouble. It's going to be bad games. It's not going to be worth your time. You're going to get bored, burn all your energy. Because ideally, you're only playing your best for 3 to 4 hours, unless you find some flow. But that flow is not something that is found every day. That 3 to 4 hour hyper focus, that is found every single day. The TCH Dallas, it's not the best neighborhood. It's located underneath a group of highways in a little strip mall with no restaurants around. All the other stores are closed. They still have security and stuff. I'm not saying it's not a safe room, but it's just like there's not, I mean, you walk outside, you want to, have a little something to see. In Vegas, you get the stimulation from the casinos. If you're out in Dallas, I mean, if you're just grinding the rooms, which I guess would be the lifestyle, they do have a bunch of restaurants in the town. I spent some time in Carrollton and Plano, two of the nicer suburbs in North Dallas, both lovely. Hit a library, the parks are open, everybody's friendly down here. Let's talk about the 101 down in Katy. So I came down here, I plan on playing TCH Dallas or TCH Houston. They have a bunch of rooms down in Houston that are bunched together within a few miles of each other on the west side of town. But you check Poker Atlas and 80% of them only have like one game going on any given day. That's the problem. So there's over 50 poker rooms in Texas, but only about 20% of them, 10 to 12, I'd say, are getting enough traffic for it to be worth your time to go in and play on a consistent basis beyond just the weekends. So this 101 room, it looked like it was the best room in Katy. The reviews were high. It was 4 minutes from the hotel I stayed at. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a shot. I walked in, took a quick clip of it. They had 5 1-3 games running that are uncapped. They also had 5 uncapped 1-2 PLO games. And then they had a big 5-5 rock. They called it Moody's game, which was a 500 min, no cap, Texas. I mean, the Omaha games, this city's all about it. It's both of them, whether it's Houston or Dallas or wherever. They love their pot limit Omaha. And it's a game that's worth learning and becoming a crusher at, because in this day and age with social media, porn, television, whatever, nobody has an attention span anymore. So they need hyper stimulation. And pot limit Omaha is a fast game. You know, there's a little bit more going on. But if you can build just a little bit of an edge, you can crush a game that is becoming much more widely known worldwide, I'd say. It's exciting. I don't know. I like it. I seem to think, I think I have an edge on it now. I've put in some time. I've grinded my 5 cent, 10 cent back in the day when there was nothing else to do. I've played probably no more than 500 hours of Omaha, but that's enough to kind of know where you're at. But every room has a handful of Omaha games running and people are excited. The 101 poker room in Katy played 1-3 uncapped. A couple players in my game were playing very, very deep, but they were playing snug and predictable deep, not crazy action deep. At dealer changes at 101, they were doing 2-board pot limit Omaha. And when you're playing that deep, that can get a little bit wild for those guys. I could see why one of them pretty much refused to play any of the double board bomb pot Omaha games or hands. In Dallas, it was bomb pot 2-board hold'em, which is much more easy to maneuver. Quite exciting. But I was in this Katy room, 101 poker on a Friday night, and it did not seem that hold'em was the game of choice. It's not a game in Katy that you could play 7 days a week and essentially make a living doing it. Omaha is a different story. Again, I mean, if you can become a crusher at that, I think it's in your best interest. Even just a slight edge. You don't even need to be a crusher because you'll constantly improve. It's a $20 membership fee at Katy. They were taking a drop in there, which was crazy, but they were offering free food and drink, and all the players were saying the food and drinks were good, and the dishes did look good. No price for your time in there, but at $11, $12 an hour like it is in these Dallas rooms, that's really not bad if you're a winning player at all, especially if the action is going to be that good. The humidity in Houston and Katy is fucked. Hands down, no other way to put it. We're in late June, it's out of control. Last night I was walking around at like 10 p.m. For some reason, in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, 10 p.m., humidity's gonna chill out, sun's gone, like some Vegas mentality or whatever. Not the case. Everybody in my game last night was like, nah, 10 p.m., it's peaking. I couldn't even breathe. You know, I'm 33 years old in relatively decent health, and I can't even breathe walking around where there's no sun. Dallas humidity in mid-June, it's chilling, man. It's chilling. It's kind of nice, actually. So keep that in mind.